Hey,
Hello.
And who are these fine people?
I'm Marcelo Espinoza from Destination Mark, and also I'm a part of Westside Studios. You can find me on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter, you can find Destination Mark there. Just, twitter.com/Destination Mark. You can also find me on Facebook, Destination Mark. There's also a bunch of numbers I'm not going to name off in my URL for some reason. But if you also want to check out Westside Studios, you can go to that Twitter, twitter.com/Westside Studios, and also our Facebook as well.
Wow, that's a mouthful. What about you, Caleb?
And my name is Kaleb Nicomanish with Gearshift Media. You can find us on Twitter, which is Gearshift Media, and as well as Facebook, which is Gearshift Media. And also gearshiftmedia.net.
.net.
Alright, and I am Shane, also known as Cstechz, and you can find me on Twitter, Cstechz. And I also stream on Twitch, which is the Cstechz, and I have a YouTube, which is also just Cstechz. So today we have a lot of things we're discussing. What do we do with this podcast? Like, what are we trying to accomplish, guys?
Do we even see the name of the podcast?
It is Fleeting
Something
Thoughts.
we did. Fleeting
You guys
Thoughts.
can tell that by the little background we'll probably have.
We never said welcome to Fleeting Thoughts
Oh
or anything
yeah,
like that.
but this is the first podcast. I mean, if you really want to, start over.
Okay, welcome to Fleeting Thoughts.
Yeah. Nah.
Basically, we're just going to cover whatever's current, also just whatever we kind of feel like. And it's just random topics. Isn't that right, Kaleb? Kaleb.
Wonderful.
Wonderful? Okay.
Wonderful!
What are we trying to like? Pretty much we cover topics that interest us.
Topics that no one else knows about.
Except everyone,
Except everyone.
because it's everywhere
It's
online.
just like rumors and stuff. Like we'll be talking about. One of the things we'll talk about is the Nintendo NX and the PS4 Neo, and the
Yeah.
maybe or maybe not Xbox 1.5 or whatever they call it. Because that's still
The 1
that's
point.
still on the tipping edge. We don't know what's happening there. But with the podcast, like, eventually we'll probably do our own video podcast. You know, set up a little nice couch and or a table, and have the blue microphones everywhere, or some random black mic.
Yep.
And yeah.
Alright.
So let's
So
go
who's
on to, I guess,
gonna kick this one off?
Yeah, let's
Nintendo
and the
NX.
NX. What do you guys think about this?
I've covered it on Destination Mark, so I'm not going to go a whole lot onto it.
Well, I mean, you
Into it.
your thoughts, like.
Oh, no, yeah.
From a standpoint, now that we actually have someone you could talk to, and talk like with.
Gosh, well, I don't know where to begin. The fact that the NX is going to whatchamacallit, like be vastly different from like the Wii and the Wii U, like that's something that I'm really excited for. But at the same time now, with the recent news that came out of the NX #1 being the only thing, no, that's something else. Never mind. The NX coming out in March 2017 is something that's actually pretty cool. The fact that NX will not be talked about at E3 and Zelda Wii U / now we know that it's also coming out for NX will be pretty much the only thing as far as we know right now as it stands that will be covered at E3. It's a little weird in my opinion. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, you're talking about the games right now. I mean, Nintendo does do stuff like they show different things, even though they just announced Zelda, right? Like in the past, they've shown other stuff.
Oh well, their latest game was Star Fox Zero,
Yeah.
and that's a game that's a franchise that hasn't had a game in like forever. Really, it's been a while. I don't remember the last like main series Star Fox title, but with Zelda, the two that everyone loves and everyone knows and everyone is like, this defines Nintendo. It's with Mario and Zelda.
Yeah, I know.
So
You're saying like they're only gonna be showing Zelda at E3?
yeah, I mean, God, that was fucking.
It was really loud.
Sorry.
I hate those type of, I hate those type of motorcycles, to be honest. It's like all they do is just make it loud so that they know that you're freaking riding a motorcycle, and I hate that.
Yeah. There's this guy, I swear to God, always, just every so often, but it's always annoying, where right outside my fucking house, you just hear...
Yeah, fleeting thoughts for you guys.
And I swear to God, it's so annoying. But going back to the topic at hand, Zelda is all their, no, that's what they say.
No, but they can always
they've
show
pulled
something
some-
else and surprise the crowd.
They've pulled some, they've thrown some curveballs in the past that we never expected. So I'm only taking that info personally as a Nintendo fan with a grain of salt. That they're only going to show Zelda Wii U/NX at E3 and no NX info. Like I doubt it.
Okay, so speaking about the NX, like, what do we know so far? Can it could play the Wii U games or no?
Not that I know of. We don't know a whole lot right now exactly.
Okay, well, according to the hardware, of course it's going to be more like the PS4 and Xbox One, which for you guys who don't know what that means is, it's not going to be an ARM processor. It's going to be more like a computer, pretty much, which is what the PS4 and Xbox One is. So we can expect it to have probably the same graphics as the PS4 and Xbox One. It may have a better one since it's newer technology. Because the PS4 and Xbox One came like 2 years ago, right? 2013 was when it came out?
13. Yeah.
So like 3 years ago almost, well, this holiday season at least. No. It will probably have better graphics, which is cool. Like, Nintendo will finally be ahead for the first time since like the GameCube. The GameCube was actually pretty powerful for its time.
Yeah, but it's funny how like the GameCube, the Wii U, had a poor launch. Sales weren't that good with the Wii U when it first.
It may have been like a point, but everyone wanted it because of the motion.
Yeah, they tried to do more with what they already they set the grounds with like more successful gameplay via motion with the Wii. So the Wii U, they try to one up that by including the dual screen, the second screen on the controller having a screen being the gamepad. But even so, at launch, the launch titles didn't really grab people. Like, okay, what, another new Super Mario Brothers? This is the fourth one of that little spin-off series. We have what, Zombie U? Okay, like some people got that, and some people I've never really heard much about it since it came out.
Zombie U?
There's a game called Zombie U. Yeah,
I heard it was pretty good.
Because you don't really play games like that, though, so it was actually a pretty good zombie game for what it was.
Yeah, not even me personally. It's just that, trust me, I hear around. I don't go searching for like.
Maybe not
such.
in like the closed community, but like I know a lot of people who've done Let's Plays on it really liked it, or at least said it was okay. Like Kaleb said, he did hear it was really good, and I've heard good things about it too.
Because you'll really know when it makes its rounds when like you hear it and you see things of it everywhere. Maybe you guys have, I just haven't. But there were other just games that came out that not a whole lot of people were really gravitating towards. So it didn't do as strong as like the Wii did, or like even the GameCube also was a little weird during launch. Like it didn't grab people. There was Luigi's Mansion, and of course that was awesome. But I don't even remember how the sales went back then. That was a long ass time ago. But point being, with the NX coming out, now that we have a definitive date, March 2017, you can only imagine just what's going to happen with Zelda being an NX launch title. Because there are rumors of like, oh, Namco's working with Nintendo once more to do another Smash Brothers, and I was like, okay, that has to be fake because Masahiro Sakurai he said he's done with Smash Brothers for the time being. He is working on another project, that much had been announced, but I highly doubt personally that it's going to be another Smash Brothers after this one nearly killed him. I mean, not literally, but it took a lot out of him, and he did have some like wrist and like arm hand issues, something along those lines. Something even bigger than that, I think. Actually, I think he was hospitalized for a while for it or something like that. But point being, like, I didn't think that was a rumor that came out. And then there was like a Luigi's Mansion 3 rumor that came out that You know, but with Zelda Wii U or slash well NX being a definitive launch title slash it's a dual system release, a lot of people don't like that because they think, oh well, what's the point of getting a Wii U for Zelda? Because everyone, even our friend Chase included, he's a huge Zelda fan, so he kept telling me he doesn't have a Wii U at this very moment. He doesn't have a Wii U, so we were like, when are you gonna get a Wii U? Why won't you get a Wii U? And he told me, keeps telling me the same thing every time. I'm waiting to get Zelda on Wii U. Then, with the speculation of him going, well, hold on, maybe it can be a dual release, and if that's the case, I'm just going to get an NX.
Yeah, that's.
So he might. Go ahead.
That's what my thinking is too. I don't have a Wii U yet, and if the NX is coming out, I may as well just get the NX. There's nothing on the Wii U that's really driving me to buy one. What about you, Caleb?
So, well, you guys are all saying like this is like a really good thing, which is good. I just don't see. I see how the console market is moving towards like the phone market, in which now every time you get a new console, they already have a new one coming out, and I think that's not going to be good in the long run because now you're going to be stuck. The Wii U just recently came out. It might have been like a year or two ago, but still.
Oh, the Wii U's been out since 2012.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, what the fuck? All right, you know what?
Okay, well, because
I'd like to take back that comment.
Okay.
I'd like to take back that comment. Okay,
That's fine.
so if it's coming out in 2017, you said, right?
Yeah.
Then I guess that's good. It's
That's still
5 years,
5 years.
after.
because if you look at the time between the Wii and the Wii U, the Wii came out.
Yeah, so it's like 6 years.
But now, like, say for yeah. But like, say for instance, like the new Xbox One possibly and the new PlayStation coming out. PlayStation and Xbox just came out. It doesn't need to have an update because what's going to end up happening is that you're going to be releasing a console every few years, which is, you know, it's less than the phone market, but still you're going to push people to buy something, and by the time they can even raise enough money to buy it, then it's already outdated, and
Well, it's not.
then no back.
The only thing that's outdated about it is the graphics and maybe just the graphics, really. Because the games are still gonna made for the PS4. It's just gonna have a different option to be played on the PS4 and Neo. This is actually a good thing from a company standpoint because if you still want to play the PS4 games, the PS4 is gonna go down way. Like probably $100 less or $150 less, and then you have the PS4 Neo as the high end model. So that means people will be able to buy PS4 a lot sooner, and they can still play all the games that the Neo plays because it's still a PS4 system.
They said that Neo wouldn't have exclusives.
No exclusive. They cannot be any exclusives for it.
Yeah, that's a good move. Yeah, why would you? Yeah.
So it's not. It's just
That's
an
good.
upgraded console per se. Like. If you care about graphics and if you care about frame rates, stuff like that, you go with the Neo. If you're fine with just playing the game for the story, you could go with the PS4.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you guys are getting at.
Because I've been trying to wrap my head around this. This is something I've talked to you guys about off camera, not on any kind of particular channel for any kind of thing like this. But the way I see the PS Neo and the whatever Xbox 1.5 whatever thing that they are doing, I guess.
Concrete, and the Xbox 1.5 is still up in the air.
Yeah. The way I've been seeing it on Sony sites, since I'm a big Sony fan, I'm still trying to get a PS4, but I have PS1, 2, 3. They always release the first initial console, and then they'll go ahead and release a slimmer version. So this may not be a slimmer version; it's just a boosted up PS4.
Yeah.
But I'm associating that as like the so-called, quote unquote slim PS4, like the updated version, because you would assume, okay, well if they're going to back in the PS1, you had the bulky PS1, then you have the PS1 with the one spelled out, and it's the smaller model. Maybe they tweak things around for that too to look better, to play a little better, whatever the case may be. Same thing with the PS2, where you had big bulky black PS2, and then you have smaller slim PS2 or slim black PS2, and the PS3 is an odd case because I've seen like 3 or 4 different models for that. Because our friend Weston has a model that I've never seen. I don't know anyone else who has this model of PS3 that he has. I'm not sure if I really don't know what it is. If we can find a picture at some point that I can show you guys, I'll probably look for that right now. But there's the initial model bigger model that we know with, I think it's what silver letters that says PlayStation 3 on the top. Then there's a slimmer model, because I think the bulky PS3 has a tray, has a disc tray, but the PS3 that's slim doesn't. You just pop the disc right in and it slides in.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But this other model that Wilson has, yeah, I have no clue.
Well, it's like
Crap, there go my headphones.
Or something. There's like a slim and then there's a mini.
I guess I really don't know, to be honest. It's a really odd model. I've never seen anyone else on one like that. But point being, before I keep rambling, I really think that the Neo is like that. It's the second they've re-released in the PS4, and it's going to do more things. That's basically it.
I mean, no. It's I guess you could think it like that, like how they usually release another console, but this is
it's different.
Slim because it's most likely not going to be slim, and it's an actual upgraded version of it. So this is the first time they're doing something like this.
Uh-huh.
But anyways.
Okay.
Pretty much the Neo is supposed to play stuff at actual 1080p, 60 frames per second, whereas the console right now plays at either 1600 by 900 upscaled to 1080p, and it's usually only 30 FPS. So it's going to be a big boost, and it may or may not, and well, it most likely will, to be honest, play 4K media, like videos and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, I don't think I've heard anything about this, but it will come with just straight up a terabyte. That'd be pretty nice. No 500 gigabyte bullshit, and then upgrade it yourself or buy a terabyte one. I mean, it's still nice to upgrade yourself so you can get a quicker hard drive depending on the hard drive they use. To go into hardware, the technical standpoint for some of you viewers that are into that, the PS4 is running a 5,200 RPM, and then you could definitely get a quicker one by putting an SSD or a 70 or 7 something. I think it's like 200. Maybe I got it wrong. It's 7 something. RPM. 7,000.
I sent you guys the picture. I think it is a mini because the way it's standing up next to all the other ones, it's like much smaller.
Oh yeah. No, I mean that's exactly what it's called, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that my friend had.
Okay, yeah, because I've never seen anyone else own that one besides Weston. Because I have the slim model, the one in the middle, and then.
I wish I had the one that could play PS2 games, but I had the one.
Yeah, I know. That's another weird thing. That's another weird thing. I don't know why the PS3 is very finicky with whichever model you have. It can either.
It's money. It costs more to add the PS2 backwards compatibility.
It's weird. I don't know why they did it that way. I mean, well, yeah, but why would they do it like that just for the money? It's dumb. Because some PS3 models can just outright play PS2 games no problem. Others, you have to download a free little thing off the store for it. And then we were fortunate enough to get the one that just can't do it at all. So it's weird.
Well, yeah, like
I don't like that.
It cost them too much to do it, so they just took it off. That's why the PS3 came at like $500 or $600 at the beginning of its lifespan. They had to cut down some things to bring it down to what, 300 or whatever it was towards the middle. So that was pretty much it. I mean, the games right now, besides Zelda for the NX at least, I have it right here. It's called Dragon Quest by Square Enix, so, you know, Square Enix, they make some pretty good RPG games. Dragon Quest 6? XI? What is that? Is that 7? I think that's 7, actually.
So no, it's not 7. XI is 11.
Yeah, no, I was like 7. I know, I was like, wait a minute, it's 11. What the hell am I saying? So yeah, no, Dragon Quest seems like, I've heard of it. I haven't played it though, so the fans of Dragon Quest will be pretty excited, I'm sure.
I'm not a huge RPG fan. I have played Kingdom Hearts. I've played the ones I like to play, the RPGs I like to play are the more platforming kind of styled RPGs. It's like RPG platformer mesh. Like of the Paper Mario games, I like playing Super Paper Mario because it is more platforming based than full RPG based in terms of exploration and finding stuff and winning stuff and all that. Kingdom Hearts kind of has the same thing. It's like a 3D platformer, but yet still an RPG. And then there's Child of Light, which is a 2D.
Okay.
So it's great. So I'm really just familiar with Kingdom Hearts. I know everyone's excited about Final Fantasy VII Remake, so that's definitely a thing.
Okay. So any other thoughts, Caleb, on the NX? Like, I said that I wasn't gonna get a Wii U because of the NX, pretty much. Is that what your thoughts would be, or are you still gonna plan on getting a Wii U just for, in case the NX doesn't play Wii U games, maybe? But there's really no games that I think are worth it.
With the way backwards compatibility is going now and the way it's being implemented now, huh? Oh no, I know he's gonna go. I'm just gonna throw in a piece real quick. I don't know. To answer the thing of how you're like, I don't know if NX will play Wii U games. I'm not sure if they're gonna actually implement backwards compatibility for NX. I would hope so, but I don't know. But anyway, Caleb, talk.
So yeah, personally, I don't know of many Wii U games that I would be very excited about. I mean, know that there's Mario Maker, Mario Kart. That's pretty much the only two games I know that are on the Wii U that I would most likely get, probably.
You like shooters? You can play Splatoon.
Splatoon, maybe. I'm not sure. The thing is that the main reason why I play games are for the story mode, and you know, even Mario's pushing it that I would only play that a few times and then I'd get bored of it.
Yeah, Mario has like no story. It's the same shit every time.
Exactly. So I can play Mario for a little bit, but if I actually own Mario, I would not play it. So you've seen me play your Mario game, but I play it a lot because I don't have it. If I didn't have it, I would. If I did have it, I would play it for a little bit, and then I'd be kind of done saying, you know.
Yeah, I still agree.
I already played it a billion times, so I don't really want to keep playing it.
I don't know many Wii U games that actually have good narrative. Nintendo's exclusives, you know, all the IPs that we're familiar with.
More gameplay than story.
Much. I mean, I think Zelda would be one of the bigger ones for you, I guess.
There's more gameplay still.
It is. No, it is, and that's the thing, because the story's always changing and all that. And it's always like, it's really weird with Nintendo's IPs. Yeah, all of them pretty much are just mainly gameplay oriented, just because every IP is a new genre. Mario's platforming, Zelda is like hack and slash beat 'em up kind of action adventure fantasy. Star Fox is spaceship shooter, you know, third person shooter. So yeah, that's why like we mostly would go with something on PlayStation or Xbox for like actual narratives and all that.
So we've been talking about the new consoles, but I want to talk about the Wii U and how it hasn't even gone down in price. Really, it's still stuck at like $300. I think it's kind of ridiculous. Like if the new one's coming out, I mean the PS4 and Xbox One already had at least a $50 or $100. It used to be $450 when it came out. I'm pretty sure.
What, the PS4?
So what is the
400?
What are the
Xbox One was
500. Yeah, but that went down a lot.
Well, that went down because they knew they were sinking.
Even lower price range, and it was already the better buy. It had so much better exclusives. I mean, Halo, that's Halo. That's it. Because Forza is now on the computer. Gears of War came on the computer. All Xbox is Halo.
So now, what is the sales like for Wii U? Because I think the main reason why it hasn't gone down is because they're not really competing with Xbox and PlayStation.
Oh, they're not. Nintendo already. They know their audience. They're not gonna try and compete.
So that's exactly why they don't lower the price. If Xbox and PlayStation had a choice, they wouldn't lower their prices either, but they have to because those two are hardcore competitors, while Wii U is not having any competitors. It's just them, and their audience is a specific audience, and they don't have to compete with other people because all their games are usually exclusive games, and they don't need to worry about getting exclusives. They don't need to worry about lowering the price so that people can buy their console over others.
I think the only thing they have to.
Still wrong though, because they, even though they're not direct competitors, they're still competitors with them. And right now, Nintendo is losing a lot of money, and they should really be lowering the price.
Yeah, they do.
Selling more.
I'm not saying they're not competitors, but they're not direct competitors.
It's not direct, yeah,
they're not the same way as PS4 and Xbox.
A game console, and I think the NX they're trying to change it with the NX, of course, because they're making it with like almost the same, maybe better graphics powers, and I think they're gonna try to become an actual competitor again.
Because the only thing Nintendo has to worry about right now isn't Sony or Microsoft. It's their own sales. Because like I was saying earlier, the Wii U was poor at launch, and it just kind of slowly crawled along through 2013. And it wasn't until like Super Mario 3D World came out, new Mario, everyone was pretty excited about it, that interests were getting piqued. And then Mario Kart 8 came out, and then it was starting. That's when it was kickstarting the sales and the hype more for like, yes, we need a Wii U now. And then Splatoon, the first original IP since Pikmin, back on the GameCube, that got people's interests, peaked once more, and it's an awesome game. So Splatoon is like the kicker right there. Then the Wii U took off, but it's their own sales that they need to worry about right now. And yeah, it's also the fact that's why they're exploring other media now. Like they want to get back into films. They want to make anime. They're going to be, I forget which where it's at, which location, but one of the Universal Studios amusement parks will soon have a Nintendo area. They're now going to focus on theme parks. They already have Miitomo and a couple other planned mobile games coming out soon.
On the, what's it called? They have Fire Emblem or Emblem something. I don't remember what it's called, to be honest, but they have that coming out on the phones.
Animal Crossing, I think it is.
Yeah. The Animal Crossing definitely is one of them. I mean, there's two only announced right now, though, and it's Fire Emblem.
Okay. But yeah.
So yeah, I think just the fact that they don't need to. I mean, they do need to lower their prices, but it's just that they don't feel that they need to as of right now, because I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. Pretty much said everything.
So I mean, to talk about them needing to lower the price, and right now the PSN network, just the PSN network, not even the Sony console or anything, is making more money than Nintendo themselves. So at 529 million yen versus Nintendo's 504 million yen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Sony is finally stepping up. Well, not finally. Microsoft's even stepping up now, trying to do all they can to get the Xbox back up with the PS4. The PS4 is just, it took off. It's just, since its announcement, it's gotten so much hype, and it's still getting hype now, even with all this Neo news. And how we were saying earlier about how...
Well, Nintendo's I'm pretty sure the Neo will be more... Well, Nintendo's actually confirmed, whereas the Neo is, like, still there, but it's concrete that it's coming out. They just haven't announced it yet. Because as soon as that's announced, people will be talking about that. They're both bad.
Yeah.
Whereas Nintendo is really only good right now because it's a new console and they're going to try to get back into the actual competitive side.
Yeah. One other thing that's going to start boosting up Sony even more, and hopefully Microsoft, if they take advantage of this, and I really do think they should, is for those that may be multi-platform or even create their own freaking... I know that they're the hardcore... they target the hardcore audience and all that, but it would definitely help if they got more platformers, more cartoon-looking IPs and all that in there, just because they can focus on more demographics than just the one that they're primarily known for. Only saying that because Sony has, during launch of the PS4 and even throughout the good majority of the last time for the PS3, they have you can get your Uncharted, your Last of Us, and all that stuff, and all the grittier games, all the more story-driven games. But you get in platformers in there. Again, I covered this on my channel. With Ratchet and Clank coming out recently, it's doing superb right now. Like it's doing, everyone's just eating it up. It's really good, and it's still from Insomniac and all that. So it's the original creators and all that. It's just blowing up right now. So
well, you have to take in consideration, but that's not their target audience. They are not going to pay to make an exclusive that's not in their target audience, because Xbox goes towards that hardcore and online crowd. You go to platformers, there's not a large online. People don't play games online with that kind of game. If you look at Gears of War and Halo, those are very strong online games, and that's why they used to pay money.
But here's the thing about that. The thing about that is that eventually you're just going to be beating a dead horse with that kind of stuff. Look at you want an example of something along those lines? Even Nintendo, who, as we were just talking about, sorry to get back on that train, but we know them as the kid-friendly, the family-friendly games. They even said they do want to start targeting more hardcore demographics. So if they can do it on the opposite side of that coin, there's no reason Microsoft shouldn't ever try to explore that again. Because even Microsoft did do that. They had exclusives from like Rareware and like other developers that had 3D platformers that did look a little more cartoony and stuff, and those did pretty well. Some of them were a little more obscure because maybe some of them didn't do all that well, but they had that back then when they started. But once they hit their stride with Call of Duty and with Halo and all that, that's just, they've been milking that since.
And they can.
Exactly, and that's what they're gonna do.
And it's not slowing at all. Because people love that. Teenagers love that. There's new generations. There's always going to be teenagers that love the shoot 'em up games and stuff like that, the FPS. And
I'm just trying to think from like a business standpoint. Like if you really wanted to try and do something different, you can. Right now they're the best example of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But with that mindset and with that in mind, you're not going to really, except for those teenagers. And within that demographic that love that stuff, they're not going to bring in anyone new. Now, maybe they don't really want to bring in anyone new, but I find it just like, oh, well, that's why I don't care for it. Because if you're not going to try anything different or create some new stuff or do whatever, then why even bother checking you out if you're just going to do the same shit over and over?
Well, they don't need
so, yeah, that's what they want to do.
It's business.
That's their goal.
They make money.
I just find it weird.
So much money from that. Like, the sports games are all pretty much the same. And that's been around since the 90s, right? And it's still going strong with FIFA 16 and NHL and all that kind of stuff, and NFL, NBA, stuff like that. And they still make those fun type sports games too, and people still buy that. Just like it's the same with Mario and stuff. It's the same thing. They just add something new that gets you hooked onto it again.
I guess. I mean.
So yeah, they're not going to spend so much money on something that's as not predictable as doing something that's outside your comfort zone.
That's like suicide if they really fuck up.
Yes, so if they wanted to do like Mario or something for the Xbox, that would be literally something. Well, let's not say Mario because Mario's famous, but say some sort of 3D platformer that is unique to that they buy as a exclusive. Then they're gonna look at this new IP.
Well, why not even exclusive? Why not just multi-platform?
Yeah, but say for instance, they're not. If they choose to sell that and have that as exclusive, that's not their target audience, and that's a huge risk on their part to create a game that's exclusive to their console that is not in their target audience, because you don't sell to people things that are not in their target audience. That's just not how it's done.
Well, and it's not a huge risk that Nintendo's doing that with hardcore gamers. They have Bayonetta 2, and that's not at all what kids play, unlike Mario and all them, and that did pretty well.
Were in the hardcore games
so now that's
before, the GameCube.
But they're
on the way that Microsoft and Sony are.
Yeah, they were. Well, I mean, they didn't have GTA, but they had True Crime and stuff like that, and that was a popular game.
I mean, because the point I'm trying to get at is that, yeah, I definitely know it's a huge risk, but I don't know how to explain it. It's really weird.
But
I'm just thinking like,
It's just not ideal for
What
them to
variety,
do
though?
something like that when they're doing just fine without having games like that.
if you do the same things over and over, eventually it's going to get old. Doesn't matter what kind of people are going to
Yeah, but that's
attach
not
to
a
that.
problem they have to worry about right now
and it's
because
and
everyone's eating up that
The
demographic.
Xbox One's not even doing that great. So I mean, like, what are they going to do? That's why there's this 1.5 news.
it's not. Also, it's not something they'll probably ever have to be. To be honest, there's always gonna be teenage boys who like military and stuff. They're always gonna play Call of Duty. Call of Duty is just gonna
Yeah.
be here for a long ass time.
Call of Duty has been here for how long
It's in
already?
two-
When did it
it's
come out? Like
started in
19?
2000 something. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was 1900s or 1990s. 1900s.
The 1900s.
Yeah.
Well, that was a long
Yeah,
time
no,
ago.
yeah.
In 1905, Call of Duty 1 came out. For what exactly? There were like there was nothing. I don't think there were TVs around that time.
And also, I mean, forgive me, I'm just saying teenagers, but
It came out in 2003
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
initially. Call of Duty.
That's the exact.
I was gonna say it's
Right.
not only the teenagers that play Call of Duty, adults play Call of Duty too. Like it's from
Yeah, I mean, I
10 to
understand.
30 or even higher.
There was this guy I knew who was 65 years old who plays Call of Duty and Battlefield all the time.
Yeah, no, because military games are something that's always gonna be around, and it's always gonna make them money. To be honest.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. It's very obvious. I'm not saying they're going to stop, and there's no way to make them stop unless they decide to. I'm just saying that if you wanted to, what? Again, it's hard to describe, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on
Yeah,
it.
let
But
me- I'm gonna talk about Sony. They do a good job of appealing to everyone. Because there's Ratchet and Clank, right? That's a family
Yeah.
game. There's also, what is that game? Little Big Planet. That's like a platformer. That's
Yeah.
a really good one too. Sony
Yeah.
does both hardcore and family. They're really good at it. Xbox One, you don't really see that much besides what? Right? No. I don't know. I don't know.
Like-
Because it's not really that popular besides Halo. And I'm not a big Halo fan.
but that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know.
So they've got their main demographic first and foremost. If that's what they want to do, then that's what they're going to do. Their hardcore demographic, their main demographic of the kids and the teenage boys and whoever else wants to play Call of Duty, who just thinks that's their game and whatever, that's their franchise. Then there you go. But wouldn't you want to try and like at least?
That's just going to cost them way too much
Yeah,
money
I
to do
mean,
that, though.
They're already behind a lot from Sony, and Halo is something that I would like Halo to go on PC because I would like to play it, but I'm not gonna buy an Xbox One just for Halo. But Halo does make a lot of people buy an Xbox One.
There are people who will buy an Xbox One just because of Halo.
They
I'm,
make
so-
a
I'm,
lot-
hear- I'm hearing even again like my friends. Well, I don't want to start naming off names, but some of my closest friends that love Halo to death, even they're starting to say, okay, Halo's getting a little weird. It's a little old now. I don't know why they're.
Yeah, like Halo 5, I heard wasn't like something that most Halo fans.
And again, if they're gonna keep making Halos, like in another 5 years we get Halo like 8 or 9 or something, how long can they keep that up unless they try and innovate and do something new, a new IP that's theirs that they can.
They've kept it up for a long time.
I guess it's still.
Yeah, but did you not even just hear me? Like, Bungie, I don't even think it has anything to do with them now because I've heard that there's a shift in who makes Halo now or something along those lines. But with 4 and 5, and even the most biggest fans that I've seen that I personally know of Halo are even now starting to say, okay, they're trying to get weird. It's getting a little weird now. What's going on? So like, how long do you keep that up?
They can keep until
It's been
they
for a long
figure
time
out
now,
that
but I mean, you can't keep it up forever.
until people start not liking Halo, and even Halo can be the shittiest game of all time, and people will still buy it.
because it's Halo.
They will buy it just because it has Halo on it. And if it's the worst game of all time, people will still play it.
People really trash Call of Duty Ghosts, but people still bought it.
And that right there is very sad, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's
I don't-
true, but it's true. People buy it even though it sucks, and they support it, but they only support it because it says Call of Duty on it. If it said anything else on the title, most likely it wouldn't do good.
That's super bullshit in my opinion. That's just very.
that's
why I don't
just how
like
it is.
Halo. That's why I don't like Microsoft and Xbox because it's nothing but that. It's funny. How did this get? I feel like whenever I'm involved in these kinds of things, it always comes back to why I don't like shooters and gritty shit and Microsoft. So, what's our next topic, Janine?
Well, let's talk about a game that we all like, I guess. I was thinking we could talk about Uncharted 4 and the Uncharted series because it's coming to an end.
Okay.
The fourth game.
Yeah.
So, do you guys did you finish? You finished Uncharted 1 through 3, right? Of course, you had it on the PS4.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
I finished Uncharted 1 and 2, and I'm 50% away through number 3.
I'm like halfway through Uncharted 1.
But you want to play Uncharted 4?
Yeah, I want it. I have 2 and 3.
1 and 3 before it comes out. You have like a week.
Oh, well, totally. Oh, I know. What, May 10th, yeah?
Yeah. So about 10
Yeah.
days, 9 days.
Fuck. Yeah.
I mean, it's not. You can finish it, but Uncharted 4. Though, have you guys seen the videos and the trailers and everything for it?
Yep.
Yeah, not every single one of them, but I've seen them.
It looks.
Hey, just since the game hasn't come out, and I'm guessing you guys haven't seen any spoilers yet, right?
No.
Hopefully not. Anyways,
Don't
how
spoil
do you
anything.
think that the thief's end is gonna end? The thief's story.
Oh, like predict the ending?
What do you think the end is gonna be? What's gonna make? Because in recent interviews, in all interviews actually, Neil Druckmann and all the other developers say that it's gonna be near impossible for them to continue Drake's story.
Caleb, we're hearing an echo. From
With-
you. You should probably sit back down.
I can't hear you.
Oh, we're hearing an echo from you, bro.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Just to
So,
the mic.
so
There you go.
since people are saying that it's near impossible for Drake's story to continue, what do you think that ending is going to be?
I mean, them saying that can mean a lot of things. Either
Yeah, it could be a
either
lot.
what happens to him physically in the thing.
Or emotionally,
Yeah.
or to his. I was thinking that somehow his brother's going to die or something from it, and he's going to finish it all because his brother died. That's my prediction.
I don't know about that, but Sully's getting really old, and I feel like he's gonna die in this game.
Oh, possibly that too.
Like something's.
I was
gonna
thinking
do it,
just
man.
someone close to him is going to die.
Someone close is
and he's gonna be like-
definitely gonna die.
Yeah.
That's gonna make Drake. I don't think Drake is gonna die though. It's gonna make him not do this anymore.
Yeah, I've heard people say that Drake was going to die. I'm like,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That'd be fucking
That'd be-
dark.
It would be, well, you're talking about Neil Druckmann here, but still.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The thing is, I think if Drake dies, that's a little bit too obvious, and that's a little bit too bullshit, like, fuck you to the person watching.
Yeah, I don't think.
But I think someone will close to him die, whether it's his wife or brother or Sully. I didn't think about Sully dying, but I was thinking that definitely his brother might
It would
die.
make sense because they've been through a lot together. Even during the first game, it's very established they've been doing stuff together for a while. Even, you know.
You know, I just realized Sully does not show up in number 2 until the very end of the story. I thought he was like a popular character through all of them, but he didn't show up until the very end of Uncharted 2. Spoiler alert.
Nice.
But,
the Uncharted collection and 1 through 3 has been out for a long time now, so you know. I mean, I guess.
But I mean,
That's how you're playing it, right? Yeah, Caleb?
So I guess so. Yeah, whatever. Okay, no spoilers, bro. Anyways. Yeah, so Uncharted 4. I mean, it's gonna be a good game. It's Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
you know, if I just played the first Uncharted, I wouldn't like Uncharted. I mean, number 1 wasn't that good. It was, you know,
I'm looking
It was
alright. I
decent.
mean, that's what got me. I mean, again, I play chronologically, you know, so I'm not. So yeah, even if I get Uncharted 4 soon, I'm not going to be playing it for a while.
I mean, Uncharted
But-
1, I mean, it was a decent game, but I've played so many other games much better than it that it would just be
It
like,
was good for its time, which is why. But then Uncharted 2 came out, and that's a really good game.
Everyone's saying Uncharted 2 is like one of the
Yeah,
best ones so
no,
far.
Uncharted 2
It
was,
was really-
amazing.
It was really, really good.
No, I mean, me being a super big ass Naughty Dog fan, like, you know, got all the crashes and all that, so I'm going to be checking out just everything. You know, playing through Uncharted 1, 2, 3. So far, from what I've experienced of 1, I think it's okay for what,
Oh yeah,
for what it is.
it's the first Uncharted game, but they definitely learned from it and made a really good story. Second and third one.
That's how they've been doing with their other IPs. Crash 1 was a huge risk because it was their first ever full 3D game.
Is it considered the best or no?
Well, it was considered revolutionary because it was right up there with
But
Mario
is it
64 as
considered the best?
considered the best.
No.
Not so much because even though it did superbly well, like you were saying with Uncharted, with Crash 2, people consider that to be one of the best ones of the original Naughty Dog games. So same thing with Jack and Daxter. Jack and Daxter was very Crash Bandicoot-esque in feel and tone, and it was a 3D platformer. It was very kid friendly. It had its funny humor. It was all nice and good. And then Jack 2 came out, and they were highly, highly inspired by Grand Theft Auto because that was one of the other games that took the world by storm when it really had its definitive look and all that. So they took inspiration from Grand Theft Auto, and Jack 2 became this grittier looking, darker in tone. You know, Jack talks now, everyone cusses and everything. So
Wait.
it's got shooter elements and everything too. So people say I think Jack 3 is that one like the best of the Jack games. And then with Uncharted, everyone's saying Uncharted 2.
So okay, let's imagine that The Last of Us is the worst Last of Us game.
Wait,
Say that again?
Because you know how Naughty Dog keeps getting better with like the second and third one.
Yeah.
Just imagine if The Last of Us, how good it is now, is their worst Last of Us game.
And fuck. Fuck, they would be like the best company of all time. But, yeah, but Last of Us had its flaws too.
Oh yeah, it did.
It wasn't a
But
perfect
still
game.
No game's perfect.
has
We can consider one
like,
perfect, but it
really
never
good
really is.
for what it is.
Oh yeah.
The story's like really good. I mean, people still talk about it. People bought the PS4 just for it. I was one of them actually. I'm like one of those Halo peoples, I guess. I bought The Last of Us. I bought the PS4 just for The Last of Us.
Nice.
Same with me.
It was a great experience. Yeah. I don't know if there's a Last of Us 2. I think they were talking about it, but it's still not concrete.
Rumors.
Rumors. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Rumors right now. Caleb knows more about that.
Yeah, The Last of Us 2 was just rumors, but they said, Neil Druckmann himself said that even if they do a Last of Us 2, Joel and Ellie's story is over,
Oh, yeah, I know.
which I agree
It
with.
has to
I
be
think
over.
that if
It's
they
like-
continue that story, then they completely
That's stupid if
fucked
they
over the
continue
entire
story.
thing.
Like, from
Yeah.
we had our closure. Ellie kind of knows what Joel did, but they still like each other. Well, of course, Joel likes.
Uh,
I don't know.
I think
It's up in the air, dude. But
Yeah, but-
I don't think she's gonna do anything about it, to be honest.
I would think that she would just abandon him, but
Eventually.
I think that she would just leave him and go try to figure out what happened with the Fireflies.
Maybe. I don't
But maybe.
know. It's been a while since I played.
Yeah. With there being a new cast, that's something else. You want to talk about Risk? That was something that I was, again, covered on my channel. But with there being like a whole new cast, like, how do you think that would play out exactly? Do you think it'd be again another pair, two characters? Or do you think like they would do something where they try to branch out into like maybe a group of survivors somewhere
I
else
think
in
they
the
would
world?
talk about the Fireflies or the Hunters or something a lot more, because they did talk a lot about it, but they didn't really talk. So you had the cannibals, you had the Hunters, you had the Fireflies, all basically thinking that they were doing the right thing, but in their each person's way, in each group's way, they were all doing horrible things.
Yeah.
But in their eyes, they thought they were doing something to save themselves. They didn't care what they were doing. As long as they helped themselves and the people close to them, they were willing to do all those shitty things. But just us figuring out what those things could have been and talking about what else could people do in that situation. I think you can go off on a lot of tangents, but if they call it The Last of Us, I think that having a game continuing with The Last of Us, even if they have a Last of Us 2 that talk about different people, I think anything they do may just ruin what they have, which is a beginning and ending, a closure. They don't really go into too much things. They kind of leave things vague, leave it to your imagination.
Yeah.
if you get rid of that, you get rid of your imagination, what you think your imagination is, and what you saw in the game. You're just ruining what could have been. You're saying, "Oh, look at what happened," rather than leaving it to say, "Ooh, what if this is happening? What if that's going to happen?" You just are just spoiling it for them, and it's like saying there was. Have you guys? I know your answer, but have you, Shanine? Have you seen Inception?
I have.
Okay, so Inception is a movie that is talked about, well, or at least was talked about because it had a very controversial ending and a ending that left it vague. If they talked anything, if they discussed anything more about the ending or about knowing whether or not you're in a dream or not, you're just screwing up the person's experience, because the whole what made people talk about it even after the movie ended is that it was vague and it gave you a lot of clues to piece it together yourself. If you give them those clues yourself rather than just showing it and leaving it alone, you're just giving people pieces to the puzzle that will make them not interested in the topic anymore. And then you're just ruining your own experience that you've spent so long creating.
So would you rather than not even being a Last of Us 2?
No.
For that exact reason?
No,
I think that.
I don't think they should be in a
No, even if it's with different characters, I think they would just ruin it.
I mean, because
Well, no, I mean, Naughty Dog does an amazing job not ruining things, but the story was left wonderfully. You know everything that you need to know. There's nothing else you need to know about the world. Their story is over. If you just talk more about what happened and stuff, you're just recreating an experience that has
I
already
see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
And now that they have the Last of Us movie that's in development hell, you're pretty much not going to see a movie of it anymore. Or most likely.
The Sweden version.
Hey.
Yeah, watch the Swedish version. Man, I wish we didn't. I wish we had more time to make
What's
that.
the studios and Gearshift
You
Media
could
channels?
make remastered.
Oh God.
The Last of Us Sweden remastered.
Dude, that was so cute.
I actually thought about doing that, like a year after we finished it, that we would remaster it. But man,
when did we make that? When did we? That was a while back. When did we make that? The first one.
let me look it up.
Because there was also Left Behind Sweden that we did too.
Was
Off the DLC storyline.
the Sweden didn't have a launcher on it, right?
No. No, not the first one.
Yeah.
Not.
The second one had a
No.
launcher. The thing is, too, is if we had different actors, I think that it would have been, much more involving. That we had more people involved. People who we had were really good. It's just that it was rushed, and it was rushed because of time limits. It was rushed because people had their own schedules.
Scheduling, yeah.
All that, we rushed it way too fast for how long it was, and it was just because we wanted to meet the deadline.
Well, how long was that film? Like what?
30 minutes.
I was gonna say half hour.
Yeah, 30 minutes is
And-
too much for Last of Us. Come on, guys. Come on.
It was released in August 2015,
Oh, shit. Wow, that feels a long time ago.
which means it's going to be August in 3 months.
Yeah.
So almost a year ago.
Were there things that we cut out or like deleted stuff or no? Did everything make it in?
We took out a lot of things that I wish we kept.
Because we just do like a director's cut.
Feel like. I don't know. Well, we could talk about this later.
Yeah.
But yeah, since we're in this topic, how about weren't we at the part where we talked about our filming experiences, or are we not there yet?
Oh.
We could talk about that if you want.
Because I think this is a natural.
Segue.
Yeah, I guess we
Segue
can just talk
way
here. Yeah, we're
in
fine.
that
We'll
topic.
get to talk. This is our first podcast, so it's gonna be a little bit.
Scattered.
Yeah.
For being fleeting thoughts.
Actually, we could probably just edit this, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just
Maybe.
edit it. Whatever. Go carry on.
So.
So filming, I guess maybe we could talk about some ideas we could do, and then we just talk about The Last of Us still. I mean, we'll just continue where we left off.
Okay.
Well,
Who's
I
gonna
mean,
go?
what do we have this summer planned then?
So we're releasing Project Leanne film that we
Yeah, but
have.
that's in June 1st.
Yeah. Um, there are like a lot of ideas that I've been passing around, like the 10 Little Sweeters project, where it's you have a bunch of people going to dinner and they're trapped and they end up killing each other, dying,
So
because
shorts?
someone's killing them.
We're doing
I'm sorry?
Skits.
shorts and skits and stuff like that?
So like we had the series 10 Little Sweeters, which was that topic, which was a series of videos.
Heavily influenced by 10 Little Roosters.
And then like we have shorts. There was. Did you ever see Photoshop CS500?
I don't think so.
I don't expect you to. It was old and it was shit. But
Was it your video?
basically, when CS5 came out, we were like, okay.
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. This was back when Photoshop CS5 came out, and we're like, all right, what if Photoshop edited real life? So we were like, all right, Photoshop CS500 is an illegal program created by people to edit real life, and it would be like this heist movie where this terrorist group contacts the government saying, "Oh, we have Photoshop CS500. We're going to edit the world as you know it, unless you give us $5 million or something." So it was shit. It was horrible, but I mean, it was an interesting concept that we tried to do and failed horribly. But in terms of what we could do with that story is I mean, then we had the serial killer, person who kills cereal, and then yeah, then that time travel short, and then SCPs.
SCP.
I mean, there's like a list of stuff that I want to do. It's just that we don't have time to do it right now.
There's so much shit that we're doing, both collectively and then with all our own stuff. So
Yeah, then the What's Wrong with series and stuff.
yeah, I feel like What's Wrong with us are coming out at a pretty steady pace. I mean, we've got a bunch of them out. Like, how many do we have out? Like 5, 6, 7?
I mean, I've filmed a lot that we haven't posted.
But I mean, what's on the channel right now? Like, what was our last one?
Look it up right now.
While he's doing that, what else we got going on? Do you have any plans for any other Swedids in the future? I remember Left Behind took a little bit out of us. It wasn't that long. It wasn't as scattered as the original Last of Us Swedid, but we pretty much confirmed it was our last one in 2015, but we haven't even planned anything for this year.
Yeah.
Is there anything you have like in the works that you could possibly tease or no?
Well, we were talking to Shanine about making a Kingsman Swedid.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah,
right
right.
before he
That
disappeared.
was like-
Well, okay, let's be honest. You just want to do a Kingsman Swedid so that way you can fucking recreate the head exploding.
That's why.
Pretty much.
That's why it wasn't. Like,
By the way, there was 6 What's Wrong With right now.
Up right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Kingsman Swedish should be pushed towards the winter sometime because there is snowy scenes and stuff like that.
That's true.
Okay.
But I mean, like, that was just something we were talking about. I don't think we ever confirmed
Every
anything
few
like that.
weeks.
You see, the Swedid films are the most fun I've had filming, really, and planning it, because it's not our original concept. It's just kind of fucking with other people's concepts. So, it is the funnest I've had filming stuff, other than, you know, the gameplay video stuff and What's Wrong With.
Are we like a lot? I know that we've gone away with it so far, and thank God for it. But with Last of Us being a video game, and I remember reading the little things that they would give us to us for Sweetfest. Like, it's supposed to be movies, like just movies, correct?
No,
Oh, it's not.
no,
it
people
was.
do games too.
What other games did other people do? I don't even remember. When we went that one time, I don't remember.
Well, yeah, that one time we went, there were no games, but in the past,
Other people do games.
I'm sorry?
Other people do games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone did Halo. I know someone did Mario.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh God. Mario Sweden. Which just Mario in general, or like any particular game, like Sunshine or Galaxy?
I honestly have no clue. All those Swedish films I watch, I do not understand and cannot follow.
That's because
That includes ours, by the way.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's mainly narrative. When it comes down to that, because you saying that instantly reminded me of Cart in our Project 3 with the films,
I'm sorry?
the time traveling films at Cart, like Bunny Boy and
So Bunny Boy was actually the only one I could actually follow.
That's what even our teachers and everything said. It was like, yeah, it was the one that had like a flowing narrative.
And it was a really good movie. It was like one of the best ones that you could actually follow. I remember there was only one comedy one. I can't remember how good it was, but I just remember it being like, dude,
it was like,
bro.
It was like a Bill and Ted like, in a way.
But I mean, like, still, it was even with that, and even with everyone's complete confusing, convoluted stories, Bunny Boy was the only simple one I saw, which was really good. Simple doesn't mean bad. It means if you do simple good, then it's amazing. I think it's the best way.
Visually, it looks like complete shit, but the narrative is
amazing.
I think what kept us afloat.
The 1,500 word story was a little bit too much to fit in like an 6-minute film. It was like if we could have done a shorter story, like at 1,000, I think the movies would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
And most problems was people were either trying to concentrate on how time traveling works, or talking about like an alternate timeline where completely everything's all fucked up or something. The thing is if you have 5 minutes to tell that story, you don't have time, because you have to talk about time travel, or you have to talk about what's happening in the world, and that completely fucks it up, because you're like, okay, this is all convoluted. But with yours, it was just like a dream type sequence, and time travel wasn't explained. It was just created by a magical bunny, which was, if I remember correctly. But still, it was like that was the way that movie worked.
We never explained where it came from. It just happened. But that wasn't what we were trying to go for. At least what I think Jeremiah, because our friend Jeremiah was the director of that. What he was trying to go for, based off of Chase's story, was that even in Chase's original story, time travel was not the focus. It was an element, and it was a heavy element because it's what moved the plot forward. It was a catalyst, but it was not the main point. The main point was the interactivity between the characters, because that's what told the story. That's what kept the narrative together, and that's what in the end made it easy to follow, because we didn't try to explain the intricacies of how the bunny had like whatever the fuck about it, like it was magical or some shit. To this day I don't know.
Vague. It was just a plot device that helped move the character's story along.
Because to this day I will never know. I don't even think he ever planned it on his head from Chase how that ever worked, but it's not important.
Yeah, see, that's drawing a parallel. That's why The Last of Us works. The Last of Us had a very simple story, and the characters moved the plot. The main issue with my project, Willow's Letter, is we tried to explain everything. We had the person. I didn't understand the story. I didn't write the story. It was Jamie, and then I think what's his name? Michael. Michael wrote the script, which kind of added a supernatural element in there. I didn't understand any of that crap. I was just like, all right, let's follow the script. We can do this. And then I remember there's this one part where the guy's trying to explain everything. Like, in the beginning and the end, everything's being explained in text. So the guy's, like, talking in monotone, about to fall asleep. I remember everyone laughing at that part. And then when they shift the camera to me, I rub my face like I'm exhausted and trying to ignore what he's saying. So it was just so convoluted and stuff. That's the issue, is that with time travel, is everyone tries to create their own lore around time travel, that they make the story carry the story, where I think stories are much better when you have the characters move the plot rather than the plot forcing the character to do something.
Yeah.
So, there should be a conflict, which does kind of push the player, but the character. But the character should be the one who controls the plot rather than the plot controlling the character, because that develops the character much more than just character being forced into doing something.
Yeah.
Also, in Bunny Boy, the acting was pretty alright compared to everyone else, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
My favorite line will forever be glad I didn't give you a knuckle sandwich.
By the way,
I was the bully in that one, and
where can you find Bunny Boy? Where can we find Bunny Boy?
Oh god, you really don't want to find Bunny Boy, but if you want
Bunny
to,
Boy's right there.
If you want to,
it's on his channel.
It's on
I'll
West
give
Side
you a link.
Studios.
Well, we'll put it in the description.
Oh God.
Because I mean, we're talking
Link.
about a podcast. I feel like the audience should. You know.
If you wanted to plug anything of West Side Studios, I would very much rather have you watch Trash Talk, our video game
Oh, yeah.
review series. But if you want to watch Bunny Boy, I mean, it was our old ass high school project. But hey,
But compared to everybody else's, even the editing was really good. Even the
Yeah, I mean,
effects
like-
were.
it's okay.
It was
There-
much
there was
better
also
than a
much-
lot of people.
Like there was that movie called Nova where they all talk about it was supposed to be explosions, but there was no explosions whatsoever, and it was just mostly freaking his name Chris, just parkouring all the damn time.
Were you on Nova,
I
or
was
which
on Dear
project was
Peter.
you? Dear Peter. Okay.
I remember that one. Which one was that one about?
Pretty much it kind of follows like the Batman type story where he lost his parents and he's using his time machine to go back,
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's not, strictly Batman. In fact, the only thing that's more from Batman is just him being like his parents' time. That's it.
Ah.
It had James Walker. It had Ralph. It had whatever that girl's name, Christine, I think.
Oh, okay. Just mentioned Christine, I remember now.
Yeah.
My time travel story that I wrote, I kind of still haven't finished. Well, no, I finished the
Do you
script.
want to try
the
to
story.
remake the short stories just as a small project on the side?
Like all of our stories
I
we
don't even
wrote
know
that
if I
didn't
can
get
find
used.
one, but I mean that'd be pretty cool
Well,
to be honest.
I found mine
I've been
recently.
wanting to make it as
I
a
think-
film. I actually wrote a script and then we've been revising it and stuff. I've been wanting to do that. It's just that I was actually doing it at the same time as writing the Project Leanne film script, and we decided to go with Project Leanne films since that's where people's interest lies, at least on the internet.
Uh-huh.
And people are more interested in that story rather than a time travel story. But in all honesty, I would really want to do the time travel story because it's a mix of like psychological action and I guess Kingsman like, because it's like this agency type thing where they have people who make time travel and then all this shit happens. But it would be that kind of style of filmmaking, and that's kind of like the style of filmmaking I'm trying to go to.
Uh-huh.
Because Project Leanne film is kind of like a drama where it's like just the characters are moving the plot and stuff. It's not action related. And I mean, I like it, but I mean, the kind of filmmaking that I would like to do, which is kind of fun, is action, because you get to do all those big action scenes. You could kind of go up over the top. In which Project Leanne, you are actually limited because you want to make it more real, because that's what makes it emotionally
Yeah.
work. And if you go over the top with emotional work, you're just gonna kind of lose the audience. Whereas stories like that, it feeds off that over the top action and over the top, because it's fun and you want something fun for that kind of thing. Where this is more like drama, seriousness. You don't want to have an action scene with people's heads blowing up in the middle of Project Leanne. It's not gonna work. People are just gonna be like, "What the fuck's going on here?"
So,
Doesn't match.
what actually
Do you
do we have
remember-
planned? Like, what do you have planned, Caleb? Yeah.
Me? I was planning to
The
do
shorts and skits, right? That 10 or whatever you.
Distortion, which was my time travel story,
Yeah.
as well as 10 Little Sweeters, which was basically people go to dinner as a celebration of us releasing the Last of Us Sweeted, and we go to a dinner to celebrate that, but there's a killer among one of them, and they need to figure out who it is before they kill everyone. And it's a comedy,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
but
Let's
I think
actually-
Wes was
it'd be
gonna-
nice if we had a map of what we want to do.
Like everything we have planned that we want to
Yeah.
make.
I wrote it all up there. It's behind your head.
Well, yeah, but that's.
Well, that's yours. He's talking about like his and mine. And
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean,
So
we've been doing a lot of your stuff, Caleb. Maybe we could just switch it off, like someone
I mean,
else.
definitely.
Like, I mean, do
but,
you
I mean-
wanna? Because I know Caleb and I wanna redo our movie from Cart. Do you wanna redo Bunny Boy, or was that not your story?
God no, it wasn't mine. I had nothing to do with it except
What
they
about
wanted me
your
to play
story?
bully.
You still have your story that you made?
I have my story.
Is it something you might want to film though?
I've been thinking about it, and I kind of wanted to, but I really want to refine
Well,
the.
yeah, no, I'm gonna
I want to
definitely
refine it
go back and redo stuff in mine, of course.
because mine was very like Memento inspired.
So like,
But it didn't tell the story legit backwards, but it did like skip around a little bit.
like flashbacks,
Via
or just skip around.
um
Because I mean, Memento, it was like he would kind of
Memento played it backward, would show a few things forward, and then go back to explain how that happened, and then it would just keep trailing up and up until it went to like the beginning, so to speak, of the story. Mine, gosh, how did mine start out? Mine started out, telling it. God, it's been a while. I don't remember. Really, what happened was, it would tell it, and you would bounce around between the flashbacks and then flash forward to come back, and then there was the actual time traveling itself. Like how it happened was, there's like a microchip embedded. Like they came up with this thing where it was a microchip, and you get it embedded within like your wrist, and you can like communicate with it. And it's hooked up to like your neural shit or whatever, and then from there you can only. It was called like jumping or something. Like you can jump into the however long into the future or however back into the past. But you get limited. Like it has to. It's almost like a battery. It has to charge. You have to not use it like a modern technological device. You have to let it charge. You have to let it, rest and all that kind of stuff. Else you're gonna blow it out, and it's not gonna. Then you'll have to fucking cut yourself open to get it out or some shit. You'd have to like replace it or whatever.
I mean, I think a good idea would be like it overheats and then it would actually burn you, and you have to cut it out immediately. Something like that. Okay.
Yeah. Because you can set the blinker, like it's a little LED light blinker, whatever it'll tell you. It was kind of like more of something that Caleb would like to do because it was very much like a psychological thriller, kind of more of a action based, like whodunit kind of thing. But like Memento, you get to find out. I believe you get to find out who it is pretty early on. It's just a matter of how did they get to that place. It was very much inspired by Memento, so.
Mine kind of worked like yours, I think, a little. Where it does have it actually starts abruptly in the middle of what's going on, and through talking, the way that through talking with the character that's thrown into the situation, there's this time traveler and this non-time traveler, and this time traveler is trying to solve a problem that is unclear really, and this non-time traveler is stuck with this person, and it was basically following these two people and basically evolving the relationship through what they learned about all this stuff that's going on. And they're trying to figure out what happened in the past, what happening in the future, where the actual time traveling device lets you time travel, but it doesn't let you change anything. Where they're trying to fix that problem. And what ends up happening is through looking at other time travelers, you learn that the time traveling device actually has a side effect, which was that your mind knows where in time it is, but if you've already created a memory there, then you're just going to be layering memories, which cannot.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's weird for them, and it actually blurs together what happened and what's didn't happen, and what the past was and what it is now, and it just confuses matters. And if someone time travels enough, it completely fucks over their brain, and you actually see how that happens with the person. And I think that's like a topic where that I kind of am interested in, is like what if something happens that alters your perception of reality, because that topic is kind of relevant, in which people have different versions of what they think reality is. If you could take something as simple as smell or taste, you like the way something tastes or smells, but other people don't. If you expand that topic into what people think can happen and what other people believe can happen, what your perception of something is, because perception is mainly just an opinion. whatever you perceive is your opinion of the way that something is happening. So if you're colorblind and you don't know what colorblind is, just imagine for a second you don't know what it is, but you're colorblind, and you think everything's black and white, your reality is that everything is in black and white. That is just the way that you perceive the world. Whereas someone perceives the world in color. If they are unaware that that is different, then that means that someone's reality is different than someone else's reality. And if you can mess with that topic and mess with the minds of the viewer, saying, oh, this is what the reality is, but nope, that's what the main character's reality is.
Yeah.
And then you kind of flip it over. I think Inception did that, Shutter Island did that, where they just kind of they start the story off with reality of the main character, and as time goes on, you realize that that's not the way that other people view the situation. It's different than that. It's more complex than that, and you kind of see that when the characters are evolving and trying to solve the problem, they end up being shackled to the idea of this may not be the way that things are. And you are able to do that in time travel. Yeah, time travel works. You can't change anything from time travel, but it does have an effect. Even though he's the one who created time travel, he keeps trying to figure out a way to fix something. And if that something is not able to be fixed because of just the way that the story and what the real reality is, kind of mess with the minds of the viewer and say, oh, what if this happened? What if that's what happened? And that could lead to some interesting stuff.
So in conclusion, that's really cool though. Janine, we haven't heard from you in a while.
Sorry?
It was weird. You have to mess with Caleb's name because he actually cut off from Skype for a second there. But
Oh, did he?
It's whatever.
I think that happened with you too, Marcelo. You cut off for a few
It might
seconds.
just be the Wi-Fi that we're at for this.
Probably.
We might just cut that part out, to be honest.
Um,
Caleb did kind of go on a long rant.
Yeah, that was kind of
in
long.
terms of anything else that we're working on, like even besides Caleb stuff, is there anything you're working on right now?
Besides just my
By chance for the
gardening
summer?
things, I think I might try to, like I said, I'll probably work on my Dear Peter thing. And then there's a short that I want to do. I think there's 2 shorts, but that's about it. This should be really quick and simple, and we could probably film that in like an hour or 2. It's just more of a conversation thing. It's no acting or anything really. So we could do something with that.
In terms of anything that I'm working on, there's myself. It's a little more like concrete, so I know what I've got, and then with like teasing or whatnot, I can't really exactly do that because there are some things I want to keep hush hush. But definitely, again, if you want to talk about Side Studios, Trash Talk is still happening. After this is going up, I don't remember when we said this was going up. I don't want to date anything, but
We're recording this on May 1st. I believe it's gonna come out May 2nd.
okay, well, there we go. It's dated now. So, well, with that said, Trash Talk is Arc 5 is almost done. So it ends May 16th with episode 50. I'm not going to say what the game is yet, but it's going to be pretty cool. And Trash Talk we're coming back with E3, so E3 2016, which isn't old news, or it's not new news, rather. We talked about that, I think, some time ago, that we were going to do an E3 2016 sub-arc, so we're going to go over E3 stuff. That's during the summer, obviously. Probably going to start that in July, because E3 is June 14th, 15th, and 16th. So we're going to tune into the conferences. We're going to keep track of what games everyone announces and all that stuff. I guess we don't have to worry about Nintendo, but, we talked about that earlier. But anyway. So, Trash Talk E3 2016. And then I guess I can confirm one thing that we are going... Oh, no, I think we talked about that a long time ago. Trash Talk Arc 6 will come right after E3 2016. And then if you want to talk Destination Mark, yeah, I do want to do sketches on Destination Mark. I do want to I'm gonna keep doing discussion videos. I'm gonna do more top 5s and top 10s. We got our Crash Bandicoot fan film that we're working on. So there's that, and then there is one other thing. I can't say a lot about it. I don't want to say a lot about it actually. But we've got something big in mind, related to video games. But that's really it. So, yeah,
Where can we
that's
find
kind
you,
of
Marcelo?
it. Once more on Destination Mark and on West Side Studios. I got Twitter and Facebook for both of those. You can also, if you want to learn more about the Crash Bandicoot fan film, either you can message me, you can email me at destinationmark at gmail, or you can also get up to date on updates and whatnot on the Crash Bandicoot fan film Tumblr, which either you have to go through Destination Mark Tumblr or you can just find it as I'm pretty sure you can just type in Crash Bandicoot fan film Tumblr, just Google that and it should be like the first thing that pops up. I especially want to draw special attention to both the Crash Bandicoot fan film and Trash Talk, just so we get more attention to those mainly, because Destination Mark's pretty covered with people tuning in every so often. So.
Okay. And how about you, Caleb? Say anything else about what you're bringing up, or is that it?
Well, that's pretty much it. All that information that I was talking about earlier about the different stories we're working on, you can find out more about that at our website, gearshiftmedia.net. It'll probably also be on the MDN, a blog spot if we continue that. I'm not sure if we are. We'll have to figure that out. But all the information you can find out there are at gearshiftmedia.net or my YouTube channel, where we'll have the link available on the video itself. Yeah, and everything basically is not concrete yet, so once we get all that information more concrete, figuring out release dates and stuff, we'll get back to you on that. And if you want to learn more information about the Project Liane film that we're working on, you can go to projectlianegame.com. Liane is Liane. I'll also be a link in the description.
Yep.
Did we talk about the screening at all?
No.
We mentioned that. Didn't we mention that super briefly earlier in the podcast? I don't remember.
No. But yeah, if we're also having a screening for Project Liane, the film. You can learn more about that at projectlianegame.com, and you click the store icon. But yeah, we will be having our showing at Deli Delicious franchising offices. Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Hobab and Deli Delicious for letting us do that.
Yeah, so if you're definitely in the Fresno area, of course, you could definitely come check it out. We'll put in everything in the description.
Yeah, Fresno Clovis area will have the address and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cheap if you follow Project Liane at all. This may be a very cool thing for you to say, oh, okay, so this is what the story's about. This is how it begins and stuff, and you can kind of get into seeing it, and then you can say, oh, so now that we see this, maybe we'll want to look up the game now, and all that will be available to you guys soon. So
I was going to say, how was I going to word that? I had a question, and I forgot how to word it. Okay, it had to do with the screening. Is there a way that when we do the screening and everyone sees it, that attends there in person, is there also a way simultaneously to live stream that?
No, that'll be a way.
So other people can, including the pre-show and all that.
So now it is going to cost money for people to go in.
Okay.
To the showing. There's going to be a fee. In terms of, they could probably pay to view it online.
You have to set that up specifically, and there's a way to do it.
So yeah, you could get the DVD, which is available online. We could probably put the pre-show on there as well, or we could have the event live streamed as well, and then just charge a fee online. That I'll actually have to look into.
And we could also make it subscriber specific.
Sorry?
We could also make it subscriber exclusive.
That's true.
For just subscribers of us, of all the channels.
Yeah, YouTube sometimes has paid events that you can have. So I'd say just stay tuned to know more about that, because I think there are also people who are out of town who might want to see it too.
Yeah.
So I would say just stay tuned, yeah, and then we'll release more information on our Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that later on.
Alright, so there you have Marcelo and Caleb. You know, that's where you can find them, and that's all their projects and everything. And for me, you can find me on Twitch, which is the Cstechz. I'll be streaming there every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I might even be doing it every day now that I don't have to babysit my brothers pretty much in the mornings. And then you can find me on YouTube at just Cstechz. You'll find my playthroughs and walkthroughs. I'm thinking about doing some more Fallout, maybe Fallout New Vegas actually. I'm gonna wait till the mods come out for Fallout 4 before I start doing that again. And then on Twitter, I'm at Cstechz, and on Facebook, you can follow me at Cstechz the streamer. And well, that was our first episode of Fleeting Thoughts. Fleeting Thoughts. What the hell? I don't know why I said that, but Fleeting Thoughts.
Yeah.
Pretty much, this is just our first one. Of course, it's going to be a little bit rough, and by our second one, I think we're going to learn from our mistakes. We're definitely going to make it a lot cleaner, because I know, I'm sorry, and I apologize, but Caleb's audio was cutting in and out. I think Marcelo wasn't cutting in and out for me, though, so.
That was on mine, but maybe not. Alright.
To hear you guys better, I don't even have my headphones on, because I just want to, it's going to throw me off so bad to hear, like, your guys talking, muffled, and then have the delay happen in my ear. Yeah, it's going to mess me up when I try to talk.
When I was talking more, I ended up taking off my headphones.
Yeah, I just left mine off for the entire thing. Probably not the best idea. But definitely give us feedback so we can figure out what you guys would like us to improve and to just do in general. So
also, if you guys have any ideas for some shows that you guys are wanting to see, just leave some comments and we will get to it.
Or topics about the podcast. Anything he wants to bring up in recent news.
Any suggestions at all?
Yeah.
Just let us know.
Alright, so.
Awesome.
Yeah. Alright, so pretty much this Cop Call just ended, and I'm just gonna do some last things. If you have liked this video, and just leave us feedback on the comments below. If you've liked us, give us a like. If you dislike us, then tell us why you dislike us. Don't just leave a dislike and leave. Come on, be a bro and tell us why you did not like it. And everything that we said, every channel, every place you can find us will be down in the description below. And that was the first episode of Fleeting Thoughts. Peace.